5, 4. This is KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city. This is DJ Destiny, along with
Rockin' Rudy.
And JEG, the wannabe MC. How y'all doing?
Hello, guys. Welcome to RGV Rocks, KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city. It's a nonprofit organization that promotes local artists such as myself and everyone within the Zoom call, and is the home of indie music. We are now accepting donations through our website, www.thecity977.com, and as well as sponsorships to keep this radio station thriving. For more information on paying donations, sponsorships, or business advertisement, feel free to contact Joe Martinez at 956-789-0702 or by email at martinezjoe@hotmail.com. Once again, I will also be leaving the donation links in the description below when this comes out. Please be sure to donate to the City 97.7 and as well as Cine El Rey, which is the sponsor of our radio station and as well as this show. To the people that don't know who we are or what we do, RGV Rocks is a radio show and now an online podcast dedicated to the local talent, events, and all the wonderful people in the RGV, such as you and I. Rudy, do you want to announce our special guest for today?
Most definitely, most definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you please help me to welcome the one and only, the famous, the front man from the super Grupo Siggno, Mr. Jesse Turner. Jesse, how you doing?
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. Es un gusto para mí. Es un honor. It's an honor for me to say hello to every single one of you, especially since I'm from the Rio Grande Valley. I'm from a little town there in the valley called Santa Rosa, Texas. A lot of these cities in the valley always go unknown, like kind of like La Villa, San Perlita, Santa Maria. But hey, man, from these small towns, even in these small towns, you're gonna find a lot of talent because here's one of them. After 21 years of doing music, es un gusto saludarlos. It's a pleasure for me to say hello to you guys.
Hey, we thank you very much, Jesse Esther. I just want to say real quick before we get started, because she told me if I didn't mention her, she was going to get mad at me and she was going to kick my ass. We're talking about Kim. I'm talking about Kim Martinez.
Oh!
Hey, you know who I'm talking about. You know.
I know, Kim. Me le mandas un abrazo fuerte. Kim, a big hug to you.
Yes, Kim is a very nice girl. Debbie, her sister. I've known that family for the longest time. The Martinez families. It's true what they say about the Martinez. They are crazy, but they're good people. They really are big corazón, big corazón. You know, what can I say?
Pues, saludos a toda la familia Martínez de parte de tu amigo Jesse Grupo Siggno.
There you go. There you go. Mr. Turner or Jesse. I'm just gonna say Jesse. Mr. Turner sounds too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you make me sound like my age.
21, right? 21. Hey, I first met you back. I think it was in 2000 or 2001 with your hit song "Pero Háblame." That was the album that created you and Siggno that brought you all out, if I'm not mistaken. And I was with AC Cruz at KIWW. A big old shout out to Mr. AC Cruz. And we introduced you on stage at the Tejano Saloon back in FAR. I don't know if you remember that FAR, do you?
Man, I remember you guys. I don't remember the moment because I've had so many moments in my life and they're all meaningful. But as you know, as you start needing more space in your brain, you start forgetting things here and there. But I mean, I remember you. I remember AC Cruz, and I remember the support that you guys gave us when we were starting. So thank you, Rudy, and thank you also to my friend AC Cruz. That also has his own show. Saludos para él. It's an honor to just be able to look back and celebrate 20 to 21 years of music of Siggno. And also the journey that I've had with you guys, with my friends, and to some of you that are younger than me. Well, thank you for taking the time to listen to our music and to educate yourselves on who we are, because you guys are the future.
Yeah, I want to say that you've inspired a lot of musicians, because I've talked to some of like the new upcoming groups that are coming up that said that they follow the way you're doing things, and you're one of those humble, noble people that you're not one of those type of people que se te va para la cabeza. You know what I mean? You're one of those
Yeah.
type of people que you will, tú sí saludas a la raza, tú sí les das sus autographs, sus abrazos y besitos en el cachete y todo eso. Y eres bien humilde, and that's what really is a big thing about you, Jesse. It really is.
Rudy, thank you so much, man. I'm trying to listen between you and the music. Do you hear music?
Yeah,
I hear music.
Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. It's my neighbors.
I
They
know.
play
Oh, is that
loud
you,
music.
Jesse?
Yeah,
Hey, man.
probably
you know what,
me.
but
My neighbors are crazy loud.
hey, it's all good, man. So,
Hey, the only thing is you were playing the wrong band.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
I
so
can't do much.
So here's the thing, man. Here's the thing that I a lot of sometimes get my. I'm sometimes very well misunderstood because I never go out. I never go out anywhere. I don't like to party. I don't like to. I'm not. I'm at that age where all that has stopped for me. I've just been focused on my family and my career, and I like where I'm at. But you know, sometimes when you go to so many places, I'm going to give you an example. 80 to 70% of my life, I spend it on the road. Like right now, as I'm doing this interview, we just came in from one of the tours. We were up in Lubbock.
Uh-huh.
We were in Lubbock, Texas. So we're coming in from Lubbock, and I literally just got here, and they told me, "Hey, you got an interview," and I said, "Okay." I go, "Let's do it." You know, for me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when. It's the reason and the cause. And I know you guys are doing this for a great cause. Now, going back to me going out, like I never go anywhere because I never have time. So when I get home, the first thing I do is I shut off everything, my cell phones, and I just go to sleep, and I sleep as much as I can. So I miss out on seeing some of my family members and some of my personal friends. And when I do go out, it's like, it's come to the point where I have to get dressed. I have to throw on some jeans, and I have to throw on a shirt. So I become lazy. And here's the thing, man. It's I don't want to say I know I'm not famous. I'm not famous would be Michael Jackson, Madonna, Lady Gaga. To me, that is famous. That I'm popular among our community and among our friends. I mean, I'll accept it. I believe that some people know who I am. So because of that, you know, I try to lead as a role model. I try to be a good example. I try to live a very positive life. I try to tell people, I try to give them the best of advice. And I tell a man, when I get home, I don't do nothing. And it's become to the point where when I do go out and I sit down, people start saying, "There he is, and there he is, and there he is," and I'm like, where? And I'm like, who's like, what can I say, man? Till this day, I still can't believe that it's the way it is. I cannot believe that people want me to sign a piece of paper for them. I can't believe that people still ask for autographs. I'm humbled. I'm very, very grateful, but in all honesty, I live for making music. I live, even if I would have been poor and if I would have been under a bridge, I would have still been making music because there's nothing else I know how to do. I mean, I like to read and I like to study things that I didn't want to study back in high school when I should have. Now it's like, now I don't need to do it, and now I want to do it. I didn't know about mathematics then, and I didn't want to learn about it either. But today I do. You know, I understand it because it's necessary in what I do. So things have changed in the last couple of years, but it's been nothing but positive, nothing but great. You know, we just had a couple of sold out tours, and like I'm telling you, we literally just got off the bus, and they said, "Hey," they said, "you need to come back." They said, "You have an interview at right now at this time." I said, "Okay." So I came back and I said, "Okay, let's do it." And I'm here, and estoy saludando ustedes. And to me, honestly, sometimes it's this that means the most to me because you guys are where I live. So you guys are actually home, and I'm on the road. So saying hello back to everybody in the valley is a treat for me.
Well, for the millions of fans that are listening right now, and you say that you're not famous, you are a humble person, but you know what? You may not be rich, but you are famous because whenever Siggno's mentioned, it can't be mentioned without Jesse Turner right after it. Siggno, Jesse Turner. Oh my God. You know what? Hey, I've seen little girls at the age of 10 start crying. Where is he? Where is he? Because I've seen it, things like that, it's amazing that like you said, the career for 21 years, the success that you have and then in the past 3 years or so, you're just moving up more and more and more and more, and you're all getting bigger and bigger. I mean, it's pretty soon the venues are going to get bigger than what there is now.
Well,
I mean, you can't.
Well, so far we've had all of our shows have been sold out. So far, up until this whole weekend, we've been sold out, and now we're headed this Friday to Eagle Pass, Texas, and then on Saturday we're in Rosenberg, and then that following week we take up to our tour up in the Florida area, and then we're headed up to like the state of Georgia, and then we come back home. While in between the middle of the weeks, we're finishing up an album. So
wow,
that's what we're doing.
Talking about recording, 2 weeks ago, we had one of your new add-ons to your crew, Mr. Lucky Joe.
Lucky.
Yeah, that guy is awesome. We love him, man. He already did a show with us before, and then he came back and did another show. And Mr. Lucky Joe is another person that just like yourself. I mean, he's a very humble guy, down to earth. I love him. He's a good guy. He really is.
Yeah, he's. I think I always tell him, hey man, your name really goes with you, Broly, because I mean, he sends up a very, very good positive vibe. He sends up,
yes.
It's because of that. You know what? Like to whoever's watching this video, I mean, no matter what it is that you want to be in life, be a better person than what you want to be in life. Does that make any sense? Like, in other words, if you want to be a singer, first be a better person before you become the singer. If you want to be a musician, please be like a better person before you become the musician. If you're going to work at Whataburger, McDonald's, go in there with a positive attitude and be glad that you have a job, and that one day, if you don't like where you're at, you have the power to change that. You have the power to, you have the opportunity to become something great. And start somewhere. Be proud of wherever you start. Be proud of the little opportunities that you get in life, because not everybody gets them. I had break after break. Me and Lucky have had break after break after break. My breaks just came a little bit faster. For me, it started back in 2004. Well, we had the Pero Háblame album, which was Al Principio, and we had a hit after hit. They kept hitting the top 10 in the US. And then around the second album, we had 9/11 happen. So
right.
A lot of the music record labels, they started bankrupt. They started going bankrupt. So we didn't have a choice than to just kind of like be up in limbo, and like some of the guys, and all my guys in the band got out. And I did not know. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where my life was headed. All I knew is that I wanted to do. All I wanted to do was music. So then, I remember that we were sponsored by a dealership, and I was never even really sponsored. The minute I became unpopular, and the minute I became irrelevant on radio, they came and they picked up the van and they took it. And I was so like destroyed by it, but it was just me and my mom. And shortly after that, like weeks later, my stepdad died. And my stepdad was like my best friend. Like, him and my mom he raised me since I was like 12 or 11, something like that. And I had a lot of respect for him. So when he dies, from everything that I've done throughout the 1, 2, 3, 4, like throughout the first 4 tours, the first 4 years of Siggno, I didn't have any money. I only had like $800 saved up. I had like $900 saved up. And I looked at the money and I just told my mom, I think I'm going to go back to college. I want to be a dentist. I'm going to study to be a dentist. And I had already taken my basics at TSCC in Harlingen. And it was in that moment when I told my mom, you know what, Mom, I'm going to take these $800 and I'm going to record one last album, but this album is for me. And she didn't understand what I was saying, but I would tell her anyway, because she was my friend, right? And when I told her I was going to record this album, nobody went into the studio with me. I recorded the drums on a click, and I just heard the music in my head, and I played the drums. Then I came back and I recorded the bass, and I came back and recorded the bajo sexto. Then I came back and I recorded the accordion. Then I recorded the first vocals, and I recorded the backup vocals behind. And I was trying to finish an album of 10 songs as quickly as possible. And I was doing it because I was finding a way to escape the pain that I was feeling after losing my stepdad. So I was trying to find an escape, and my $800, $900 being in the studio was my way to escape from reality. So then I wrote songs like Mejor Dímelo. I wrote songs like Te Extraño, Que No Me Busque. And that was our first monster hit. It hit #1 for 27 weeks in the United States. I'll never forget it, 27, 29 weeks in the United States. And I didn't even have a band. And all of a sudden, the next thing you knew is the Freddie Records, Freddie Jr. called me and he said, you know what? He goes, you got a hit song here. Everybody's playing it. And I said, man, awesome. So then all the guys came back one by one. They all started coming back in. And then we went on tour again. And ever since that moment, I've never looked back. But from 2000 to 2004, I mean, you're talking about I used to get paid nothing. I would play at bars and they would pay me $250. And with the $250, I would pay everybody $50 and I wouldn't pay myself, and I would put the rest into gas. And I wouldn't pay myself because I was hungry for it. I wanted to make music. I wanted to be doing that every weekend. So it went from that to those whole 4 years of doing a lot of radio events. Every radio station back in the day, they wanted you to do free exchange. You know, hey man, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. So there we were. And I know.
I'm guilty of one of those. You know?
Nah, but it wasn't. But it was understood because that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, like it's supposed to be that. Look, you do something for the station will do something for you. Let's scratch each other's back. Let's help each other out. So after 2004, 2005, that's when the album came out and it just exploded. It exploded into the scene and we exploded. After that, there was no turning back. After Mejor Dímelo, there was Que No Me Busque and Te Extraño. Then after that, there was Traté de Olvidarte. There was Estúpida. There was El Perro Muy Feliz. And then after that was Ya No Me Importa. Tienes que escapar conmigo. And then after that was ¿Qué harías? After that was Linda Morenita. After that was Mamá. After that was Yo Quisiera Detenerte. El Mundo Se Acabó. Auxilio. I mean, Yo Te Esperaré. El Perdón. I mean, it's just been nonstop. Like when a lot of people don't know, but when we started this tour, this 2021 tour, I want to say that we're one of the few bands because I take pride in the work that we do. That same guy that you met back then is the same guy that's sitting here today. It's the same thing. Some people that are listening to this might think you guys are crazy. And the thing is that, yeah, we have to be crazy. We have to be at this level in order to be able to create something beautiful for the people to come out and see. Like this, for example, let's start from scratch. Last year was over. Last year was a horrible year. They said, what do you want to call this 2021 tour? And I'm like, man, I don't know. I go, what about Siggno Reconexión? And they're like, Siggno Reconnected. And they're like, why? And I said, because we've been disconnected for a whole year and like months from the fans, from the stage, even from ourselves. Like we weren't even ourselves. We were different people at home trying to figure out how are we going to survive 2020? So it's like if somebody unplugged the world and along came Siggno. So Siggno Reconexión means Siggno Reconnected. So when you come to a Siggno show, it's about being reconnected spiritually. It's about being reconnected with the fans. It's about reconnecting our instruments. It's about reconnecting our vehicles and our tour buses and reconnecting our lights and our lives. And how are we going to reconnect with everybody, with the world, because we've been disconnected. So that's why this tour is called Siggno Reconexión Tour. Now, what I was telling you is what we take pride in is I'm still the same guy that would pay my guys the $50 and I wouldn't make anything back in the day. I'm not saying that I do that today, but in the sense of where I'm hungry, I tell the guys, hey, we're gonna rehearse a complete new tour for 2021. For 2020, we rehearsed for like a whole week, and I'm talking about torture rehearsals. You're talking about we would go in at 10 in the morning and we'd finish at 11 or 12 at night, like rehearsing Monday, Tuesday. And what we do is you make a playlist of all the songs that you're gonna do. You're doing a playlist of all the songs, and they have to be in order. What am I gonna say? What are you gonna say? Which is my animador, right? My MC. What are you gonna say? When is the drummer gonna have a solo? Where are we gonna connect? Where are we gonna do key changes? And everything's so detailed. This year is no exception. We've been doing that for the last 4 years, and I've always said, man, if Michael Jackson could do it, if Beyonce could do it, if all these huge American artists can do it, why can't we put that much care and that much love into a tour? So at the beginning of the year, when we stopped touring, we rehearse everything. We change all the screen panels in the back, all the lights. We rearrange everything. We buy new lights. We buy the most modern stuff, and we try to be super advanced. And this year is no different. That's why people come out to the show. That's why we've had 4 or 5 sold out shows as of this moment. And the shows that, for example, the one in Corpus, we're going to be in Corpus. And Corpus, there's almost all the tables are gone. And we're like weeks and weeks and weeks away from performing there. We're going to Rosenberg, and we're going to Eagle Pass, and all the tables are almost practically sold out. So it's a lot of work, but it for me, it doesn't, I'm not one to say that I'm a different person. I can't be the one that says that. You know, my mom has to be the one that says that. My friends are the ones that have to say, because they'll tell me, man, you never have any time to hang out with us anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I know, Michael, but you know what? This is a sacrifice for my family, for my future. You know, I one day want to get married. I'm still not married. It's hard. It's hard. Really, it's hard dating someone like me because I'm never home. So,
you're never home.
So who wants to be?
You know what, Jesse? What I was going to tell you right now is, because you said it about all the dedication and everything that you all have been doing, and making sure that everybody is in sync. You know, it's the unity that keeps you going. But Jesse, it's your heart, bro. It's what you do, and what you do is, como tú dices, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 11, 12 o'clock at night. It's dedication, the hard work, and the right people that are with you. And I see that on your shows. You know, like, well, back in the day,
I have the perfect band. I have the perfect crew. And I'm going to be real honest with you. Like, in our past, we've had negative people in the band, in the organization, and we just had to let go at some point. And we had to, you know, if in your life you find yourself around toxic people, you need to surround yourself with positive people, with people that always have solutions instead of always having problems. You know, problems, anybody can point them out, but somebody that points out a problem and then says, hey, this is the way you can fix it. Hey, you know what? I think you should do this. And what about this? Instead of just saying, oh man, you just suck. Or you know what? They're just bringing this horrible attitude. Is just, it does nothing for anybody in any organization, in anything, in any job. That's why I told you from the beginning, the first thing that's going to get you far in life is a great attitude. For me, I've had doors open left and right, never mind the music. I had to always be a nice guy. And not that I had to be. I was always genuinely a nice guy. I always said hello to everybody. I have always given everybody their place, you know, and I've seen people make mistakes, and I don't want to make those same mistakes. I don't want to be remembered for being a jerk. I want to be remembered for always saying hello to people. I always want to be remembered for all the great things I did with my son, all the great things I did with my band, all the beautiful moments that I had with my mom. I want all that to live on forever. And if I treat people unfair, and if I treat people like if I'm something important, then I'll become nothing. And that's what I try to do. I just try to always just be a good person. You know, I'm not going to get into religion, but I just want you, this is what I always tell my friends. I say, look, you want to know who God is? God is the best version of yourself. God is the best version of whoever's watching this. God is inside of you, and he is the best version of yourself. So have you given the best version of yourself? Have you given the best of? And no matter what it is that you do, because tomorrow is not promised. And I've been through so much, Rudy. I mean, I've been through so much that I value every single day when I wake up. I'm so happy that I'm alive. I don't even smoke or anything, but I mean, I go on my own morning trips. You know, my mind is just like, wow, I can't believe that I'm in this universe in a little bubble, and it's called Earth. And we have this thing called an atmosphere. And outside, if this atmosphere were to disappear, we would die. I go on these trips, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful trips because it makes me realize that I'm alive.
There you go. There you go. Hey, but you know what? I think for me, and the way you, of course, Jesse, I would say the fans. I mean, the bigger the crowd you get, I mean, you know, the success is coming in. You know that you're doing the right thing because people want to go to your show. You know, come on, like you did that. There you go again, Jag. You're playing music, right? Like you did that video with ¿cómo se llama? Elida.
Uh-huh.
And that is an awesome video.
The one of Juntos Hasta Morir.
Yes, exactly. Man, that is like, wow, that is spectacular. Who thought of that one? Was it you or was it her?
No, that was Lalo's idea, which is her husband and producer.
Okay.
I wasn't supposed to sing that song. I believe it was supposed to be somebody else. I don't remember if it was La Mafia or Jimmy Gonzalez or Oscar de la Rosa. Uh-huh. But I ended up being at the studio. They said, hey, why don't you try singing it? And boom, it came out. And they said, let's do this video. And I remember I was included in the production of it. But man, it's been so far back, Rudy, that I just, some of it I just don't remember. I just have to, I look at the video and I'm like, man, what was it? I look at the video and I'm like, man, what was I wearing? You want to know something, Rudy? I'm going to tell you something. Watch, I want you to freak out, man.
You're already freaking me out.
You look at that video and you know what's a trip? What's a trip in that video is a simple fact that shirt I bought it, I don't know where at, for like $15, but the coat that I'm wearing, I bought it at JCPenney. It's just a trip, like, and people are probably here thinking that I'm wearing some expensive thing. No, that's just something from JCPenney.
Hey, but you know what? That is such an awesome jacket. I was gonna tell you, where did you get that? And
I have it.
Told me.
Oh, you still have it.
Yeah, you still have it.
I have a lot of, cool. You know, I have a lot of my clothes, and it's all small. And I have a second son, right? And so my second son, he's not that built yet. He's barely, like, even though my son's in the Marines, right? So my other son's in the Marines, and he doesn't have my built yet. But I'm saving all this clothes that I'm hoping that one day he's gonna like, because you know, after a while, I guess everything gets out of style, and then after years and years, it all comes back in. And I hope that by the time he gets older, he's able to wear these shirts that say Siggno 2001 and these shirts that I had custom made. I hope that he's able to one day wear them.
Yeah, good. Let me go ahead and do this, Jesse. There's two other people here with us. Just back and forth. I'm forgetting about the other two, but I know DJ Destiny's got a question or that she's been wanting to ask you.
There's a usual question we ask here on the show all the time, and this is for like everybody that's come on our station and also on our show, is that since you're from Santa Rosa, what do you like about the RGV?
What do I like about the RGV?
Yes.
That we have no traffic.
You haven't been down here lately.
I haven't been here in a good minute then.
I mean, have you been to Houston? Have you been to San Antonio? Have you been to Austin? I mean, you're in line for like, you're like in line for hours. But no, you know what? I'm kidding aside. I'm kidding, but I'm not, right?
Yeah.
So what isn't there to like about the valley? I mean, the food, you know, the fact that my heart knows that when it's driving back home and it sees the palm trees, it knows. It knows that I'm almost home. If I were to die and God were to put me somewhere on earth, and the minute we start coming into the valley and I'd see these palm trees, my heart would know that this is home for me. Just like wherever is home for you. There's no other place like the valley. And it's funny because where I come from, it's such a small town. And I've heard people in my own small town say, I hate this place. I can't wait to get out of here. And I hate this place and I hate the people. And I tell them, to those people, I always say, hey man, the name Santa Rosa is just the name. What makes it big is the people that live there and go out and do something amazing with their lives and bring light to something that was just given a name. The city has no fault. The city is just the name of a location. And Santa Rosa is also part of the Rio Grande Valley. So the whole Rio Grande Valley to me is everything, is everything. It's where I started. It's where I grew up. There's no other place that I'd rather be. Even though there's beaches and even though there's exotic places around the world, home to me is where I was born and where I was raised and where my mom lives. So that's what the RGV means to me.
Hey, and when you said beaches, we got a beach too.
Yeah, but I don't think you've been to, if you're saying that, I don't think you've been to the beaches in other places where the water is actually blue. And I'm just messing.
Yeah, well, no, I don't get to travel like you do, but I understand. Hey,
Rudy,
Mr.
you want to know
J.
something? It's funny you're saying that. When people ask me, have you been to Cancun? I'm like, nope. Have you seen? So what's the nicest beach you've ever been to? And I'm like, South Padre Island. And they're like, that's the nicest beach you've been to? I'm like, that's the only beach I've been to. And I tell them, well, I've seen the water when it's clear and it's blue. And they're like, oh my God, you're crazy. You haven't. But you know what? Again, and if somebody would ask me, what beach would you like to go to? I would say South Padre Island. I'm sorry. Like, yes, I want to visit all the other places in the world. But again, there's no other place like the valley. There's no football seasons in the valley. There's no radio stations like radio stations in the valley. There's no people. Our how can I say it? Our culture is so in your face. Like wherever you go, I mean, you can have tacos or you can have steaks, and we're I mean, we're also so what's the word? Versatile. Yeah, we're very versatile. I mean, you have Mexicanos making Chinese food over here, and then you have I mean, there's everything. For me, everything's in the valley. But if you ask me what's my favorite thing about the valley is when you put your GPS, if it says that you're gonna go from point A to point B in 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes, and not like there's 10 miles and it says like 45 minutes to get from here to point B. That's I go crazy in traffic. I don't know. It's just me. It's because I've traveled so much.
I was gonna tell you. One of the things that I can say about the RGV is that the RGV, if you don't make it here, you ain't gonna make it anywhere else. And you guys, from the minute you guys started, boom, you were in, and now you're more experienced, more advanced, and you're more now in the hearts of a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
And then again, it's the way you are, Jesse. You're very humble. You're very down to earth. And then you've got a lot of spirit and soul that you share it, and you're showing it right now, especially when you're talking to me, telling me things. No, hombre, Jesse, let me tell you, I wish I was there where you're at right now. I'd give you a big old hug, bro, and say thank you. You know what I mean? Man. Yeah, for real.
Wait, Destiny, did you have any other questions?
Oh, yeah, actually.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, anyway, what's it called? Growing up, how was your discovery with like music and how Signal came to be, like that kind of sound?
Well, music for me came from church. Like I just remember hearing it. I don't remember. I just remember me always loving. There was, I think when you asked us to, a lot of musicians, the most of them will say, it was just in my DNA. You know, it really, most of them will say that, right? That's why you're laughing, because most of them say that, you know, I just knew. It's not that I just knew. It's just that the minute we heard music, we were like, what is that? And it made us move just a little bit more, right? It made us want to move to, like, we would look around and we wanted to make other people feel what we were feeling when we were dancing, because we heard music and we wanted to dance, and then we wanted to make that music so that other people could dance. So I heard it at church, and I didn't necessarily want to make people dance, but I realized that it was a form of expressing yourself. If you didn't talk that much, if you didn't say much, making music was a form of saying a lot. Kind of like an artist, like kind of like somebody that paints. They might not say a lot of things, but when they paint and you ask them about it, they'll tell you, oh, I go, this over here is the darkness of my life, and this over here represents the brightness, and in the middle, you know, it's just, that's just the way people are. And I remember my mom bought me my first Muppet Baby drum set, and we lived in 2 acres of land. So the roosters just tore it apart. Like, I didn't even do it. It was the chickens. They just went and poked it, and they pooped on it. It just, so I ended up learning to play the drums on pots and cans, and I would take the pots and cans to church, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I get into many bands later. I go from Christian bands to playing. They come and pick me up in a church, and they didn't want me playing the accordion inside a church because I sounded too secular, right? It sounded like I was playing music from the world. So a band heard me. Some guys were passing by in a truck, Placido, and I don't remember if it was Josh or Rick, and they took me out. They waited for me to finish church, or they went to church. They attended church that day, and when I was done, they said, "Hey, man, how would you like to be in a high school talent show?" And I was still in high school. I said, "Okay." I go, "Let's do it." I go, "What am I gonna play?" And they're like, "The accordion." I'm like, "The accordion?" I'm like, "Man, I really don't know how to play the accordion." I didn't even know how to sing, Destiny. I didn't even know how to sing, Rudy. I wasn't expecting anything. I just knew that I was gonna be making music. And so I started playing the accordion, and then I started playing drums with Ruben Bella, which was, he's an icon. He was also from Santa Rosa. He had El Coco Rayado. He had so many hit songs. So when he gets a brand new record label, he leaves from Hacienda Records, and I start writing songs for Ruben Bella, and their management, or the guy that was in charge of Crown Records, he sees me playing the drums, but Ruben Bella would take off his accordion and he would let me sing a song or two, and I sang one, and they said, "Hey, who wrote that song?" And I said, "I did," like real proud. I mean, and it was just a cheesy song. And they said, "Do you have more?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." You know, I was like, I had like 5, and then they said, "Okay, well, do you have a band?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I really didn't. I had my friends from church, and I said, "Okay, well, and then they said, "Well, we're gonna need for you to make an album." And I'm like, "Okay, how many songs?" 10. I go, "Okay, 6. I have 5, or I don't remember. But then I went and looked for composers, and they would give me like their B, like their C songs, like, which means there's a A, the best, B, the
Medium.
all right. They gave me like the F songs, like the trash can songs, like here, and I'm like, that doesn't, like, in my ear, that doesn't sound like it's something I can sing. So I said, "It's okay, man, don't worry about it." So I started writing my own songs. Pero háblame, está lloviendo, es que te quiero. I started writing all the, like 6, 7 of the first songs of my first album, and boom, they released the first single, and it was called Pero háblame. And I was driving on 10th Street, and we had gone to go eat at Shogun. And I'll never forget it. We were listening to the radio station, and we were going on 10th Street, right there. Where you're headed to the mall. And
Yeah.
we were making a left turn to get on the expressway. As we were turning left, I remember hearing, here's a brand new album from a brand new band called Siggno. And when I heard it, I was like, I don't know. I thought of that part of the movie in Salida when they sing lágrimas que corren de tus ojos, and I just started crying. I just started crying because I was like, but it's funny, Destiny, Rudy, and
Jag.
Jag.
Remember Egg?
Yes, Jag. It was funny because I was crying, and then in the moment when I was crying, I was thinking to myself, man, I don't gotta go to college anymore. I mean, that's it. That's it. Like, I don't have to go to college. I've made it. You know, as soon as I'm pretty sure that every artist that gets in the radio or has the first radio hit, they think, oh, I made it. I made it. I was like, oh yes, I made it. I can't believe I made it. If I'm getting played in the Valley, I made it. Little did I know what was coming.
Yeah.
Little did I know of all the free events I had to do. Little did I know of all the times that I was going to get screwed over. Little did I know of all the times they were going to tell me, you know, the famous words of the promoters, y los fue mal. Or the band that was closing, they would say, man, I know we promised you 800, but we're going to have to give you 300. And it was just a constant battle after like just, and where am I going to find money to record the next album? And where am I going to find money to record the next album? And how am I going to get to the show if we already wasted the deposits? It was just struggle. But the band, when we started, we just never did this.
Mm-hmm.
We always just kept going like this. And we've never stopped. It's been 21 years that going under that path, going underneath that expressway started. And it was 21 years ago that I heard my song for the very first time. And just talking about the story, it fills me with emotion, because I know there's people out there that are at that stage. They're at the beginning. They're at the beginning of what they think is nowhere. They're at the beginning of where they think, I don't even know why I'm doing this. This is pointless. This is dumb. But little do you know the doors that you're opening. Little do you know of the knowledge that you're gaining every single day. Little do you know of this is one day going to be your stepping stone. And it might take you 5 years, 10 years, 11 years, but it's taken me 21 years of hard work and sacrifice to be where I'm at today. And I wouldn't want to change it for the world. People always ask me, well, if you could change one thing, you know, what would it be? I mean, I always say, I don't ever regret things in life, but if I could ever change one thing and one thing only, it would be my son's accident. That's the only thing I would change. And I would try to just live my life the same way I've been doing it for these last, I don't know how many years, just in a positive way. Be a good light, be a good person, give good advice, and always make time for everybody. Everybody's important. The AM stations, FM stations, online internet, the people that only have 5 viewers, everybody's important to me. It's just that what becomes an issue in what we do is this thing that we call time. I never have enough time. There's never enough time to do something. And so that's why it is that when I do have time, I try to make the best of it. You know, I try to give the best stories. I try to give the best advice. I try to give the best knowledge that I have, so that whoever's seeing this can pass it on to their friends, or they can learn from it, or they can say, you know what, that touched me. Or you know what, I was feeling like if I was in that patch, but I got some words of like comfort and some words of encouragement. And that's what we need in life. We need people like that. And I'm not saying that I'm that, but I needed that my whole life. And I got it through my friends and my family. And here I am today, 21 years later. Now ready for this tour, this Reconexion tour. I'm excited because we're going to be in the Valley on May 29th. I'd like to invite you guys, if you guys have time. I want you to go out there so you can see the work and the dedication that we've put into this 2021 tour. If you guys are going to go, let me know so I can write it down, so I can know you guys are going to be present. Because I don't want
29th?
May 29th. It's in Palmview at Bucanas.
All right.
It's on a Saturday. And if not, once we get off air, we have other dates and other shows. If you guys want to make it to one of them, I think it'd be really good. I mean, Rudy, you've seen us, but I think it'd be really good for Destiny and Jeg to see something like this, so they can even be more inspired and more motivated.
I would be inspired too, because I know that be seeing you again way back when I first saw you guys, that we introduced you on stage, and that now everything's changed. Like you said, you got new lights, bigger stage, and stuff like that. I'm so excited now. Now, not really am thrilled. So May 29th, I just might be down here for that. You know,
All right, brother.
I've got one thing I've got to let you know real quick, Jag. You got something you want to say? Because you look like you got to say
that.
it. Say it, Jag. Say it.
Yeah, because what's it called? If you guys don't know, before like Jag goes on, what's it called? He is our newest co-host from this year. Ever since I know, what's it called? Jesse was talking about like the whole year gap that happened to us as well. So we just barely started like again in January. So that we welcome him onto like team. So Jeg, would you like to ask?
Yeah, Mr. Jesse, your story really inspired me, and honestly, I was on the verge of tears because I know many people around my age, starting up bands, rappers, poets, whatnot. We're all starting off together, and getting little views here and whatnot. And then hearing your story, like it motivated me, and it touched me really hard because there's some days where I have self-doubt. Like, why am I doing this? This is all trash. There's no money in this. I'm gonna just go to school. And whatnot. But hearing your story and many other stories and whatnot, it just really motivates me. And it's good to know that there's other people that are willing to stay true to themselves and true to the art instead of lying to themselves and becoming someone else just because of fame. And basically what's that word I'm looking for? Imploding in just pure BS, if that makes sense.
No. I hear you. And what's pretty cool, man, is watching you. I could tell that you were real nervous, and I could tell that you were that you were like, oh man, my neighbors are playing music, they're ruining it for me. But you know what? But don't feel that way, man. Everything happens for a reason. And you know what? It's what makes this moment magical. It's what makes this moment special that we're never gonna forget it. It's gonna be here recorded. Many years from now, you're gonna be 30, you're gonna be 40, you're gonna be 50, and you're gonna be able to look back and say, man, I can't believe that happened, but that was so cool. And what you're doing right now, you're doing it to help your communication skills. Maybe back then you were kind of shy, you were kind of quiet, but now this is gonna help you develop great relationship skills. Same for you, Destiny. It's gonna help you be able to walk into any building and just speak your mind about ideas, about what you want to do. So I wish you guys both the best of luck. You guys are doing an amazing job, and don't let anything or anyone get in the way of your dreams and what you want to do. The only advice that I will give you is the same advice that I've given at every school that I've gone to give speeches at. Anywhere that they've asked me to speak, I always say this: remember that if you're young and you still have school available, and education is very important. But make sure that you're going for what you want to be. Go study for whatever it is that you want to be in life, knowing that you might not succeed because not everybody has opportunities. I know a lot of great musicians that can outdo me, outsing me, but they just haven't had a break. They haven't had an opportunity. And everybody sometimes lacks that due to confidence and due to like being scared of just saying what you feel and being honest and being truthful. I think that if we all just go to school and have something to fall back on and do what you love on the side, I think that one day, whatever you have on the side is either going to open up a door for you or plan B or plan A. This is always something promised. And education is going to find you a job somewhere. It's going to find you something. So I wish both of you the best of luck. And I hope that one day we can look back at this Zoom call, this video, this live. And I hope that you both remember me the day that I'm no longer here. I hope that you guys are able to say, man, I'm never going to forget this moment. I'm never going to forget this time. I just want to remember it for the rest of my life because it motivated me to push forward and to believe in myself and believe in my friends. You're going to be great, both of you, all of you.
Well, there you go, Jake. Woo! And you were going to cry. That is so awesome. that is so awesome. Because it was a very touching thing that he did say. It did, I was kind of like holding it back myself too, but hey, Jesse, like I said, brother, you got a big heart, man, and that's what makes you you, you know. And I've been following you since day one, since way back in the day, todo eso, and you've got a lot of energy when you're on stage, because like when we saw you performing there and everything like that, you still have a lot of energy. I imagine so. But we're gonna support you 110% like we support everybody else. And I need to get with either yourself or Jessica or Mr. Adrian by sending me some demos.
For sure, man. I mean, anything that you guys need as far as content, it's always available on all digital platforms. You can find all our music on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes. You can find our music videos and our any update that you guys want on music videos. You'll find it on our Grupo Siggno YouTube channel. Just make sure that you subscribe. Also, you can find us on Facebook, and all the information of where we just performed. Like if you go on there right now, you'll see all the concerts that we had. They've been sold out. You'll see where we're going. You'll see us doing little clips of, hey, this is tus amigos de Grupo Siggno. We'll see you this coming Friday. You'll see our schedule. You'll see positive quotes. You'll see things that will probably brighten your day. So go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and you can follow me as well, Jesse Turner 11. But you know what, really, I want to thank all three of you for. I know sometimes they say 30 minutes, but sometimes there's no time limit when it's people from the RGV, because you guys are anybody that's from the RGV is considered family to me. So I want to thank you guys for inviting. Did you have any more questions? Destiny?
Oh no, that was it. Yeah.
Are you
Because
sure?
we're already running out of like time. That's why. And I'm like,
You know,
I was just gonna say.
You ask what you want to ask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you ask.
Yeah, you ask what you want to ask.
Okay. I was gonna say, how has it been? I know you talked about this earlier about like the whole pandemic and how it's like affected us in each sort of way. How has it affected you as like an artist with like being locked in, like with quarantine and things like that?
It didn't affect me. It was a break. It was a vacation for me. Are you kidding me? I've been touring since I was 14, 13 years old, and I've never had a break. I've never gone months without making music. I've never gone months without being in a band, and I never. So I was hurting from my back in December, and then we started rehearsing in January for like those whole 2 weeks, rehearsing for the show 2020. And then we started off with the tour, and I had an injury in my back, and it didn't let me do much. It wouldn't let me continue. And
there you are.
I had an injury in my back, and it wouldn't let me continue. So when they said, hey, we're going to be off for a couple of weeks, I'm like, yes, I need this break for my back. And then it went from a week to a month to 2 to a year and months. And am I glad to be back? Of course. Did I enjoy not working and seeing my bank account slowly go down? No, I did not enjoy that. But I did enjoy the company of my friends. I enjoyed the company of my family. I enjoyed the loneliness. I enjoyed, just being home and doing nothing, something that I hadn't done for years. So that's how the pandemic was for me. It was a little bit sad. I lost a lot of friends. I lost some of my family members. It was hard. Not that long ago, we lost Richard, our bajo sexto player. We lost his mom. And was when somebody goes through it, we all go through it. And I'm glad to say that my mom just got her vaccine. So if you haven't gone out and get it, I encourage you to go out there and do it. I already have my date scheduled. All of our Siggno crew, all of our staff, everybody has already gotten their vaccine. I'm the last one left. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because my last name Turner, it's the letter T. The letter T's are on this day, or I don't know what. But I'm one of the last ones to get it. But I've been perfectly fine and ready to continue with life and ready to continue with this tour. So again, I want to invite you guys out to our tour, to follow us on our page, and again, I want to thank you for this opportunity of allowing me to speak to the people that are there from where I grew up, from the RGV. Keep doing what you guys are doing, and I wish you the best of luck in all that you do, and I hope that you never forget me, just like I will never forget you. I might forget the moment, but once we talk and you tell me, you remember, man, we were in the middle of the interview and they were playing Tragos Amargos in the back.
Remember that?
My neighbor was playing all this music and his eyeballs open like this big.
You saw that, right? Like, oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
These are the kind of things that make the moments meaningful, man. So Rudy, Jake, and Destiny, I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you for doing what you do. And don't forget to donate. I want to say something, as far as donating. Whenever people hear the word donate, it sounds like such a drag, But I have a son, right? And he was in an accident. And when he was in this accident, I had no way to cover his future therapy, and he needed a lot of therapy. So there was this foundation. I don't remember the foundation because it's been so long, that they worked off of donations that helped my son through a very hard moment. And even though we can't compare two things, what I'm trying to say is, by you donating and by you helping, it helps give you guys a platform to talk about how beautiful the RGV is and bring some light on some sad days and bring some comfort bring some words of comfort and peace to people that are listening. So never forget that all three of you are a beautiful light. Never forget where you came from, and always remember these moments because they will be forever. Rudy, fuerte abrazo. Destiny, big hug to all three of you. Hopefully I get the opportunity of meeting you in person. Que Dios me los bendiga. Hasta la próxima. And una vez más de parte de tus amigos de Grupo Siggno, much love. De parte de tu amigo Jesse Turner, Grupo Siggno, los muchachos. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Let me end this interview by saying we are sponsored by the historic Cine El Rey Theater, dedicated to preserving the past for the future. Thank you so much, Jesse, for being with us today.
You're welcome. Hey, and it's like he said, we're gonna have an amazing interview. Let him know, Mas. I gotta hurry up and hang up because I'm gonna cry.
I know. If you'd like to check us out or learn more about what we do on our show, be sure to check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. RGV Rocks. Twitter is Rocks RGV. Once again, Facebook and Instagram, RGV Rocks, and Twitter, Rocks RGV.
Look at Destiny with her radio voice. Proud of you.
Yeah, right?
Proud of you all. Proud of all three of you. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Jesse.
On KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.